right, my name is David. Like, I just heard you talking. I heard you talking about like brainwashing and religion. So what is your spiritual? Like,
the point is, we teach our people the truth of the Bible.
But it's not Christianity. Okay, that's cool. So that's what I'm individual. I'm like 46. Smoke crack for about 20 years. I got a moment of clarity. It's like I've just been blessed. Like, everything's fell off me. I'm just blessed, innit? And I want to just maintain that. And
well, the thing is, what we do is we teach the truth of the Bible. Like Christianity was taught to us by oppressors,
by enemies.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm kind of rejected. But the Bible
can I say something?
Yes. That's what I had to think about. Because I was rejected. I said I'm not interested in none of it.
Actually, because you never know, you might come across, other people that will say that this is Christianity, but actually, this is the real Christianity. Now, history shows you that they took it and they made it theirs, which is called Greco-Roman Christianity. So the Christian that your spirit don't take, the Christianity that your spirit don't take, is the one that were formulated, that were made up by our enemies.
But the original one is?
But the original is the Christian, the term Christian.
What version is that you're reading? What King James?
The term Christian was first how people that were following the original Jesus, which is the black man, all right? They were following him, and they say, oh, like you know how they say niggas? Oh, these are the Christians. But actually, me, the followers of Christ, which is, a Mashiach young, because they knew that the original Jesus was the Messiah, right? So they were following him. But the people that didn't believe to mock them, call them all Christians.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But yes, bring it out.
This is the first place you even find the word Christian in the Bible. Yeah? But really, this was in Greek, but really should have been Mashiach. That's the actual Mashiach. That's the correct translation.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 11 and verse 26. And when he had, let me start at 25 for the context. And then departed Barnabas. Now Barnabas is an apostle. And he was taught, or he was a follower of Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So he was a follower of Christ. Are you there with him? Right. To Tarsus for to seek Saul. Now Saul's name was changed to Paul. So when you see Saul, you interpret it to Paul, but it's the same person. So Barnabas, a disciple of Christ, went to look for Paul or Saul. So now we're here, verse 26. And when he found him, when he found Saul or Paul, he brought him unto Antioch. Antioch is an area in Asia Minor, where we call Turkey now, right? So it's called Antioch. And it came to pass that the whole year they assembled themselves with the church, the gathering, called out assembly, or the gathering of Hebrew Israelites, that's what the church actually did, and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what we were called first, as like something like to say, oh, them niggas. But
exactly.
Really, the Christian are the niggas
as well.
Exactly.
So go 13 and 1.
So this is the book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch, so this is the same place that we were speaking about before, certain prophets, and notice they call them prophets, and teachers, as Barnabas, the same Barnabas that was looking for Paul, and Simeon, that was called Niger,
which is Niger,
exactly.
Nigeria.
Exactly. Says they were called Niger. When we get into the Greek, Niger, how do you pronounce it? These people, it's letting you know that the prophets and the teachers back then, they were people of color. They were also called them nigger. And they were the ones who were the real Christians. So now you got another group of people who took over that. And that's what you get today. So that's why our people don't take to Christianity, because it's not there without spirit.
When I was little, them buildings and like,
so now that's what we do. we come out to teach our people, say, look, we are the descendants of these people. And what we were taught is not the correct understanding. We come to teach the correct understanding. Why we're in the condition we're in, how to get out the condition we're in. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's like he's got the right spirit.
But he's keeping the bed.
Yeah, he's got the right spirit.
Let's start with the bed quickly, and then we can carry on. Let's start with the bed. You keeping the law.
I only started writing it.
Can you?
That is a law.
Always shave it off.
Can someone read Romans 2 and 14? Let me show you something. I'll prove to you that we are the people. Yeah, 2 and 14.
You know, I believe nothing.
Romans 2 and 14. Because our people will be keeping the law.
Romans chapter 2 and verse, I'll take it at 13. Into
14.
Oh, straight to 14? Alright. This is Romans chapter 2, verse 14. And it reads, For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature...
Alright, so the Gentiles, right? There are the Hebrew Israelites that left the custom, Jew custom, the Hebrew Israelite custom, that they didn't know they were Hebrew Israelite anymore. Just like us at some point.
They lost the history of themselves, and they were disconnected from the language, the culture, the religion, their understanding of who they are and who they should serve.
These are the Gentiles. I want to make it clear, because if you go to Christian, they will use that one to tell you that they have a nation about salvation.
Aunties, that's what it's talking.
Yes, that's right. So, but we're going to the point now. I'm making a point. Carry on.
Verse 14 still. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained
in the law,
these having not the law are a law unto themselves.
So that's how you know that you're a Hebrew Israelite, because you be keeping the bed. The Arab guy keep it because the instruction, the Quran, which is the recitation of the Torah, right? He just follow it because he grew up in that. But you naturally you keep the bed. I see so many brothers keeping the bed. They don't know what they're doing. But that's because it's the law.
That's right.
See, that's one way you know that you're a children of this. I mean, you're a child of the Most High, and that book is your culture. Because
that as well, you said the Most High. Because I don't use the word God now. I never use the word God ever. The Most High.
Yes, because when you say the Most High, you revere Him. When you say God, you got the God of music.
Exactly.
You got the God of sport. But when you say the Most High, you say the Most High. And He said Himself in Isaiah 45, He said, I'm the Most High, there's none other. Like, no one sit beside me.
That's right.
So, you see, that's in your spirit. Why? Because you are part of the children of Israel.
That's right.
Now, we're going to show you where that's come from. Because the Bible says here that they keep the law, though they don't have the law. Meaning, they don't know about the law. Alright, so let's read the law that you're keeping, not knowing that it's your law.
So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
You shall not round the corner. Someone explain it.
Actually, go 21.
Alright. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 21. And verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Make. So I shouldn't shave your hair off.
You should make baldness. So you see the way I'm getting thin? I tend to keep it low. What a lot of brothers do, when it goes bald here, take a razor to the rest of the head.
Okay.
That's making
Well, I can see, I'm looking at your head now, I can see your head. So it's not straight bald. It's low, but it's not straight bald.
No, that's not skin.
You mean like how Marvin Hagler was?
Yes.
But you can cut it very low, but not to the point where, should we say, it's like your neck, totally.
Make it baldness. It said they shall not make baldness upon their head.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
If you don't want it out here, you keep it low, but keep a beard on your face.
Also, when you look deep into it, it's about marring your head, like the corner to mar. You know that
shape up. Shaping up your head. Like our brothers love to shape up.
Oh, don't shape it.
No, you can't shape it.
Well, see, the word mar, again, M-A-R, means to destroy. That's what the word mar means.
And in French, you would say destroy the extremities of the borders.
Which is
So that means you can't see, you know when you make yourself look nice.
Yeah. Forget all that. Just let it go now.
You gotta go. You gotta bring that alpha male spirit because this society teaches you to be a better male.
To be, a
To be
beta male.
feminine.
Oh yes, yeah. Care about your looks.
So your feminine
Stuff like that.
energy it takes over your male energy. Because when you got that, you bring in that seduction spirit. Now when you cut them properly and that, another spirit takes over you, which is the spirit of seduction,
it's a
the
vanity
worldly, because you're trying to conform to society.
Yes.
That's what the Egyptian did. So when the Mosai took us out of Egypt, we told our people, can someone read Leviticus 18 and 3?
Okay, now.
Yeah, read Leviticus 18. I will show you something.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 3. And it reads, maybe I should start from verse 2.
No, just free.
Free.
Alright, verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell,
Now,
shall ye not do.
when you know anything about Egyptian customs, one of the things they used to do, shave off all the hair off them, all over, everywhere. So it says, after the doings of the land of Egypt, you shouldn't do those. Don't follow what they do.
Shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, or Canaan,
Because the Canaanites as well, they were deep into the madness, man. They were idol worshiping, they were living their life basically. Child sacrifice. But the most I say, like, don't you do like that.
And it's the same thing with our people today. After the land of Britain, ye shall not do.
Yeah.
And if you go abroad on holiday, don't follow them also. It's not a case of when in Rome there's the Romans. No. If they want to do what the Romans do, that's up to them, but this is us.
Yes.
Alright,
To separate ourselves.
So in a nutshell, what was happening is we were leaving a promiscuous and a heathen country or nation that were practicing abominable acts. So when we left that nation, we were ordered not to do
what they
were doing. But we was also gonna go into a land where there was heathens that were doing abominable and heinous acts as well. So what the Lord was telling us, in between where we left and where we was going, they said, where you left, don't practice what those people were doing, and where you're going to, don't practice what those people were doing.
And you have to remember as well, growing up in this society, we've learned ways. So that's what this is, enough. Bring us back to our customs. That's why that's a good precept the brother brought out. Don't follow, the ways that you've been brought up in. Come back to your customs.
What is it? 19 and 27, isn't it?
Yeah,
we want to show you now that you shouldn't mar the extremities of your beds. That's what it means, man.
So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 27.
That's so funny, because it goes funny. Every day I'm in the mirror, like, and just,
Trying to look good in that.
all that.
Trying to look good for the girl, then. Especially you look summer. You want to look good in that. Then once I say bun that, man, look, I'll give you whatever you want.
Chance, you know.
You know what I mean?
I went to the Brixton today to get fish and potatoes, but
The most man's great.
Now bring it out. Ye shall not
Funny
drown.
enough, you got the Anck.
Yeah.
See,
I've got a lot of this sort of
you know what it is? Like, this country there is spiritual Egypt all over again. That's why you find yourself, because their system is based on the Egyptian structure. The mystical side, the political side, the social side and everything. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why you find yourself. But it's okay, you didn't know. But that's the reason why the Most High brought you here.
Yeah.
On top of that as well, they teach us that we're a race of people that we're not. So because we can look like the Egyptians, like quote unquote Africans, but we're not Africans, we are Shemites, we're not Hamites, but we dwell in that same landmass. So they teach us that we're these people. So now we look upon them as a great society, all the wonders that they've done. Because they've debased us, we look up to Egypt with all the wonders and think, that's us. That's got nothing to do with us. It keeps us in the that's why that Leviticus 18, don't do what they do. Don't follow their custom. That don't have nothing to do with us, my brother.
And also, like, they know who we are. Because the same Egyptology that we're talking about, if you look deep into it, and you look at the walls, you will see certain people, the Amu people, which is translated as the Ammon.
Why is there only Egyptology? Why is it not
I'm coming. The reason why they did that is a French and an English guy that came up with that the first time. So what they did is like, they had to bring out a stumbling block as far as brainwashing tools for our people. When it came time to get back to themselves, that stumbling block would be right there, stopping you to know who you are. So they'll say, oh, you're an Egyptian. Do you know what I'm saying? They push that narrative towards you. So when the time comes for you now, because they knew there would be an awakening. So they say, what we're going to do, we're going to push that narrative to block Jake, which is the Hebrew, the black man, and the Hispanic man, all right, to rise up when the time comes. So that's the whole reason behind Egyptology. It's a stumbling block, it's a snare that was put on our way. And they say what? These books were written by the white man.
Yeah, that's another stumbling block.
It's another stumbling block.
Yeah, because that's what kept away for so long.
Christianity,
because somebody told me that.
block.
Yeah, so King James was a black man as well.
Of course, I've got a book to show you that. I've got a book to show you that. But we have to remember, we used to rule in this country, man.
That's what to say.
We were the original kings, talk about kings and queens. It's us, man. We ruled all over to the 1400s, 1500 during the Renaissance. And what they did is like, they proceeded to do something you call iconism, which is the brainwashing of the icon.
Yeah.
Now, when you look through history, when you go to Europe, you will see, when you go to big churches, a certain museum,
Russia,
you will see the black icons.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that, yeah, in Russia, yeah, the mother.
Because they weren't able to whitewash, they weren't successful in that.
Hang on 1 second. As the brother said that, Rav,
But you see what they don't teach you?
348.
Yes, yes.
The whitewashing that happens over.
He could have shown
I've got a
you,
book in my bag. Where
just to explain exactly.
they've done tons of whitewashing on this. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to get it. Go on.
Just listen to this, yeah? Like what you just said about them whitewashing in the images, you know that was already foretold in the Bible. He's going to read it to you. First Maccabees 3:48.
Read it, listen to that properly.
Yeah, here it is.
Listen to that
Is it
properly.
hang on.
Yeah, and laid out the law.
Yeah, that's the one.
No,
Listen to this, yeah? Hang on, hold that there, right? Yeah, just listen to this, yeah? Okay, when you're ready, read that.
Yeah. First Maccabees 3:48.
Yeah.
And he laid open the book of the law.
The
Right,
law is
hold that. Yes, sir.
No, go on.
Yeah, hold that right there. Check this out, right? It said, and laid open the book of the law, yeah? So hold that thought. Laid open the book of the law. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Now, do you notice in the book of Joshua, it just shows you that the Bible is the book of the law. Now, what did 1 Maccabees 3:48 say? Read it again for us.
First Maccabees 3:48. And he laid open the book of the law,
Showing you that they laid open the Bible, this book of the law,
wherein the heathen has
the
sought to
heathen,
paint
the other
likeness.
nations, not the Israelites, the other nations, like the brother was talking about in the Renaissance period,
Has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
see that they sought to paint the likeness of the images. They changed the image of Christ, they changed the image of Moses, of Paul, of Peter, of Luke, of John, and they changed the name. John, Yachanan, Kepha, Peter. So the names were European names, they changed that. So when you call them names, you're thinking of Europeans, not Israelites with colour.
But even that, when you come to the name as well, I want to school you about something.
Oh, before you jump in. Now, remember you read in Acts 13 and 1, they call them Niger, which is black. So this is the memoirs of the Secret Service of John Mackey, Esquire, during the reign of King William, Queen Anck, and King George I. Now he was sent out to spy on people over in England. Now this is one of the person that he spied on. This is Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State. Don't put in.
Hold on to that. Look.
Yeah, that's King James here.
You know what I'm saying? So that's real, man. Well, take your time, man. Take your time.
I want to show you now.
Take your time.
Listen to this. Daniel, Earl of Nottingham, right? Let me show you. Daniel. Daniel Finch, Earl of Nottingham, right? So I'm going to go to images. Images.
Click images.
Oh, look. This is all you're going to find. What do you see?
That's right.
Now, remember it says they went in the book of the law.
Change the image.
Now, Daniel Earl of Nottingham, watch this. This is how this guy described him. Daniel Earl of Nottingham. He has also the exterior air of buffonels and application enough to make him very capable. In his habit and manners very formal, a tall, thin, very like a Spaniard or so what colour when they tell you the Jews
The
were?
original Spaniards would do a black people.
Yeah, they're black.
Because they won the wars or something this way.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what colour do we see here for Daniel
Yeah, black,
Finch?
but they changed the image like what it just says there. That's right.
All right, so when you see that now, yeah, see that one? That's the image of who? King James.
So that is the original King
So when
James.
they apply that prophecy, then made it come to pass. By when you go there anywhere, they say black King James, they'll say, oh, he was a white homosexual. But actually, that's King James.
Because they brainwash us so much, it's so hard to like picture like a black king dressed like that. If my mind can't just do it.
See, the thing is, and that was the point of Christianity. That was the whole point, was to get you away from your culture. So you don't seek nothing. So you hear a couple scriptures, John 3:16, for God so loved the world, and you roll with it because it sounds good and it sounds believable. But when you break down the scriptures correctly, you realize John 3:16 ain't even saying what you thought it first said. So it's that kind of thing. What it is, Christianity lullabies you to sleep. So you don't seek anything.
Yeah.
And you love your enemy. You allow shit like that and you don't say nothing about free abortions. And
In
you
your
don't say nothing.
community.
You just walk past.
Yeah, let's do the brother, man.
That's what it does, man.
Bring that Leviticus 19.
Stop in a minute.
Listen, the brother just want to read you something quickly.
Last one,
I'm
that's
going to
it.
stay for about 10-15 minutes.
Last one.
So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 27.
Go.
Ye shall not round the corners of your heads,
You should not round the corner of your ears,
neither
of your, sorry, of your,
That's what I know.
you should not round the corner of your bed.
yeah, but you're ready to do that.
My mind is supposed, my mind went somewhere left. Right, listen, bro. Yeah, so
Ye
listen
shall
to
not
that, right?
round the corners of your head,
Of your head, like that, yeah.
plural, neither
Meaning, you know, like when you
Also.
what example I can give? See the brother? Imagine he goes to the barber shop and then they line it up, like proper line it up. We're not supposed to line up.
Yeah.
I'll
You
give
get
you
what
a
I'm saying?
precept for that. Before you read on,
We're not supposed to line it
this
up.
is Leviticus 23 and 22. And when
Yeah.
ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy fields. That's talking about the edge.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
cleaning.
All right, cool. So yeah, so see, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn to. You have to learn to
Yeah, that's what I'm going
to not like go down. See what you have there? See that thing? Instead of going middle, halfway, you stay up there. You know, you make it look nice, but you don't like line up and look, because that brings a different spirit. You want the Most High now to take precedence in your life. So, because right now it's like that.
He wants to bring a point.
Let me finish my point first. Like, because right now, as black people, the something is changing. Basically, we used to be niggas before. We used to do what niggas do. What's happening right now is that the Most High is changing the paradigm. He's changing the reality now. He's bringing us back to the old ways. All right? Because that's where we were. Like, who you are, you can escape destiny. You can escape fate. Your fate is to be a Hebrew Israelite. And to be a Hebrew Israelite, it comes with things. It comes with keeping the law, having faith, and embracing your custom. All right. But now, since we are in spiritual Egypt, the brother would like to bring you some information that will help you.
So the point number one I had is you're wearing an Anck.
Yeah.
Right, so if you wear something, you have to be able to defend what you're wearing. Otherwise, it's just a fashion. So is it a fashion? Is it a fashion?
No, I mean, it's a fashion. Obviously, when I was reading up on it, it said that it represents eternal life.
Okay, so that's what I want to bring out for you. So it actually does represent life, and I'll explain why. Because life, in the ancient times, the way how we would write words is with a symbol.
Yeah.
So for instance, like if you say a symbol of a camel,
Yeah.
that represents walking or moving or transportation.
Yeah.
If you see a symbol of an eye, that represents seeing, or it could also represent a fountain or water. Because tears come out of the eye, right? Iron, that is bigger than the iron. So what you're seeing there, I don't know if you know, is a womb with a phallus going through it.
I know this.
Right. So that's actually symbolic of a fertility god, which has many names. Easter comes.
So that's not really cool to wear this then, no?
So I'm trying to explain.
He's just going to explain it to you.
I'm explaining it. So the Canaanites, we read that where it said when you go into Canaan, don't follow the practices of the Canaanites. They would worship a god. I think it was called Chemosh. It's also known as Astaroth or Astarte. The Egyptians or the Kemetic, exactly, the Kemetic, they worship Isis and Horus, which is that, which is a mother being impregnated by a son, by her son, or I think it was, because they chopped him up and she
That
took
comes
the
from
father.
Babylon, isn't it?
This is what I'm trying to explain.
And that's what the Kemetic.
So what I'm trying to show you is, when you wear that, that's what you're wearing. And it symbolizes life, because when a man ejaculates his seed into the womb, it creates life. So that's why it symbolizes life.
But this is representing like some kind of deity.
That's number one. That's number one. Now number two, the people in Egypt, or what we call Egypt, right, had two different Hamitic nations that governed it. So one of them were the Cushites, the other one were the Nubians. However, the Cushites were actually the people that started Babylon. Because Nimrod was a descendant of Cush.
Ain't that Nimrod the one that stepped with Muhammad?
Exactly.
Very one.
Tell you.
That's where he's just
So
breaking it
what
down so you
happened
can
is,
see.
he went to Babylon. Now there was people living there, our ancestor was living there. But he went there, set up a kingdom which was called Babel, which means confusion. You understand? But those same people also were ruling Egypt. So what happened is they have the same practices and the same worship, but just different names. But when you unveil it, you'll see that they're doing the same things. So when you wear that, you're actually doing the opposite of what we read. Because what we read is when you come out of Egypt, when you come out of that state of bondage, don't do what they're doing. And when you go into Canaan, don't do what they're doing, which is Easter and all this Christmas thing.
Yeah, don't do none of that. Don't do none of that.
Right? Right. So I'm just letting you, I'm just giving you this college. And then one other thing I wanted to tell you, the original Christians which are brought out were the disciples of Yahweh, what people call Jesus Christ. They were the original disciples. The Roman Empire were executing them, killing them for 325 years. And then there was an emperor who was one of our people, by the way, called Constantine. He got to the point where it was like, look, this is not making sense. Because every time we kill one of them, they become a martyr, and then there's 10 more of them. And we kill the 10 of them, it's 100 more of them. So he said, you know what? If you can't beat them, we will join them. So he created the Conference of Nicaea in 325 AD and came up with...
I'm sure that Constantine, he must, through the process of the reincarnation, must have been Caiaphas. Because he was going against his own people.
No, actually it wasn't, because what he did was what all the Romans do. What the Romans do is incorporate whatever god the people they conquer have. No, I know, but let me just add this. What they would do, they would conquer a country, whatever god you had, they would also take it into the pantheon of gods. The problem was, our God is one God, so it couldn't work. Right? It couldn't work, so they were trying to, okay, you lot have to worship our gods. We weren't doing it. So then they say, okay, we need to kill them off. They were killing. Every time they kill one of us, 10 more of us sprang up. They kill 10 of them, 100 more of them sprang up.
We don't die, we multiply.
Right, so then they say, okay, we need to take over this. And this is where they created the Nicene doctrine, or the Catholic, which means universal religion. You understand? But our thing is not a religion. Our thing is a culture. So that's why I wanted to bring out initially the curses. When I read the curses, you are going to identify with the curses.
I don't have time.
Yeah,
Let's read this. So this is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18.
Yeah.
It says, what profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof has graven it? Like, how is that going to really profit you? A man sat down and grave it. Remember, we have a living power.
That's right.
These are all images that you're better than this. You know what I'm saying? It says, the molten image and a teacher of lies. You ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? It says that the maker of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols. That's what these things are. And everything that we need to know is here, just that it's not been expanded to us.
Yeah, we've been brainwashed, can it? Bring the Isaiah 31 and 1, and then you can, and then we're gonna. Because I think you got it. Through the Spirit, if it's meant to be, you know, that's a seed right there, man. That's a seed that won't bear.
Before the brother read that, verse 19.
Yeah.
Woe unto him that saith to the wood, destruction unto him that saith to wood, awake to the dumb stone.
Right.
So you're pulling up on these, like India the other day was dashing out their idols because coronavirus was licking them down. They're like, what? This ain't giving me no good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
Did you see that on the news?
No, I didn't see it.
It says, woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake to the dumb stone, arise. And that's even telling you that, you know, it's Christianity and Islam. Because our people in Christianity, you have the symbol of the cross, the wooden cross. Yeah. Then you have the dumb stone, Islam. When you go over to Mecca, you go around the Kaaba stone. And Buddha.
And every other idol worship,
everything.
you know?
Says, woe, destruction unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach. That's not teaching you nothing, my brother. That's all praises.
All praises.
Just took it up.
Oh, man.
Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst. Like, you're better than that. Like, a man made that. We're praying to these things, thinking it's going to give us luck. And you're better than the thing you're wearing. Madness. This is how they've destroyed us, my brother. And it keeps us in the... Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Bring your last one and then, you know, you can, you know, whatever you want.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 1.
Bring that up.
Woe to them.
It says destruction to them.
That's what woe means, destruction. So the Most High is warning us through our precepts.
Woe to them.
Yeah, but Israelites.
Which country are you from? Which country your parents?
My mom is Jamaican, my dad's
But when I say, you see the funny thing when I talk about British people, if I say, well, in France, such a guy, where you from? You say, I'm from Mali, I'm from Ivory Coast, I'm from Guinea. Although he was born and bred in France. But in this country, if you say, where are you from? Say, what you mean where I'm from? Like you're dissing them. I mean, you my dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never understood that, but, you know, you are your parents. You were born here because of slavery, because of servitude. It's not a nice place to claim. I'd rather claim Jamaica or my country, Ivory Coast, than claim France or UK. Because that's one step closer to my culture.
English. There's no English.
But you said Jamaica, right?
He said Jamaica and
Right. So your dad, where your dad from?
South America.
No, where your dad from?
My dad's from Guyana.
Right. So your dad may be... No, he's Banyam, he's not. You can read the spirit like
Yeah.
You say where I'm from. You're a Hebrew Israelite, but your tribe, you know, more than likely, you are Benjamin.
It is son of a
And Benjamin, the warrior tribe, man. That's the reason why if you look at the history, you know, they were the first tribe to be singing warlike songs. Like Gone Babylon, Babylon shall fall down. That's the warrior spirit. spirit in them. And they're known as the wolf.
Yeah.
And what does the wolf do? The wolf is like, ow! Before you go to Punyami, you're like, ow! And that ow, like that's the utterance. That's the reggae music. They are warning that the destruction of they are warned us by destruction of Babylon.
And also through the Spirit, let me just say that. That's also proof that they are righteous, because a righteous man.
But Banyanga is righteous, man.
No, I know that. A righteous man will warn you before he attacks you.
That's right.
A deceitful man will attack you without you knowing.
That's right.
So that's just showing you because.
And it makes sense, you know, because Benyamyam. Yeah.
Hey, man, do something,
See, Benyamyam, it means son of right, and son of the right, meaning they're righteous people, man. That's why people have used the music. Obviously now they use the music for foolishness, but back then they use the music to whatever they do. But they use the music to rise up against the enemy.
That's why they got people
It's
making
in their
some
spirit.
music now.
That's the wickedness in us.
That's the reason why. The same reason why you see people here.
Yeah, the free abortion.
Pushing out, encouraging our sisters to abort the children. It's the same reason why Amalek is paying the new Benyamyam reggae music artists to push that vibration, that below the back vibration, about juking, about pum pum, what's his name? Popcorn. I can't count how many songs he has about pum pum, man. About sweet pum pum and pum pum. What do you think that is? Because they wanna, you know what I'm saying? Like they wanna mash up the spirit, the Benyamyam spirit. Let him down. We wanna go to King.
I listen, thank everyone for the enlightenment. Respect, man. I just wow, blown away. Because you know I had the Bible and I threw it away, you know.
No, you want to beat that
But 1 minute, read that Isaiah 31.
This is the book of Isaiah.
Even read it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, and verse 1. Woe to them
Instruction to them
that go down to Egypt, Matazarian, for hell.
that this is more than Egypt today.
This is spiritual.
That, says, woe to them that go down for help. Our people is always looking up to these people to help. When our help comes from the Most High, He's the one that's put us in there. That's who we need to look back to for help.
And stay on horses
Stay on horses, man.
and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen.
But you know, anytime you read about the Most High, He don't deal with the multitude. He will use a few to confound many to show, look, I'm the one that's doing it. It's not your might or because there's enough for you. He used that us here to destroy everyone in Brixton.
That's right.
Us right here.
Yeah, all they have to do is give us spiritual power.
9. And we'll mash up everybody in Brixton. That's how the Most High works. Yeah?
But we do mash them, brother, in the spirit, man.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Right now, they can't come and stand before us as far as trying to, how can I say, put sand in our food, what we're teaching about. They'll be, confounded because we're sure of what we believe in. And we bold, man. Look what we are, man. They got all those people coming and we bold. We're not shy.
You know when I walk past there, I never stop and listen to people, but something was just like,
Exactly.
You were meant to hear this.
You know what you saw? You know what you saw? You saw the ancient energy. You know what I'm saying? And you're a warrior, so when you see warrior energy, you recognize that. Because we trying to be alpha male, man.
They've made us
We're trying to be alpha male. Even though we come from a beta male, a society and families and ways and that. Our aim is to be alpha male. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you saw in like, yo, I never heard anything like that. So I want to listen to what the brother, and then aren't you pleased?
I'm super pleased, man. Now that I know that's ours, that has empowered me so much.
But that's what they don't want. That's why they give Christianity. So you white Jesus. Yes. This boy, I don't want that white man's book. But there's many black people written about. I showed you one already in Acts. And I went to the Greek. They was calling them what? Nigger. What do they call us today? And what did that mean? There's not new under the sun, my brother.
I always knew Christianity as well, because I remember like Iraq War and all that, and my mum talks like there's the God channels and all that, and this American, he's saying, yeah, we're gonna go over there and kill them. We're in the wow. My mum's sitting there watching, man. But listen, man, you love respect, yeah? I'm gonna see you on Friday. Not Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, so you know what we're going to do? Oh, you running? We're going to talk about humility.
Yes.
We're going to talk about humility. We're going to switch it to it. Well, let's talk about humility and then
we just went with the spirit.
Humility.
All right.
That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what I'm supposed to talk about, and then you saw those demons trying to push some nasty vibration, and we're like, you know what, let's go in there.
So this is the book of Sirach, otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus.
Give me some more.
Chapter 10, verses, chapter 12,
No, 10.
verse 12 and 13. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, Yahweh power.
And you can see what pride has done to us as a people. This is why brother was in the state he was in, not knowing who he was, not knowing this book is his, why we were in that condition. Yeah? Because of pride. Pride, it says, read that again.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verses 11. For when a man is dead, 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God, Yahweh power.
That's what we have done. We've departed from our maker. So now we're in a condition where we're at the bottom, you know, and we're so prideful to the point where you don't even want to acknowledge that, well, this is about you. No matter how much brothers may break it down to you, you're so prideful that you don't even want to go back to the Most High now. Says you've departed from your maker. Go on.
And one thing about pride, our people, very prideful, because you say to them that, do you know your history's in the Bible? Oh, I know, they know, but they never want to hear it. They know all. And that's the problem with our people. We're prideful, we won't admit, just to say, no, I don't know, can you show me?
Yes.
Well, they're jealous, they're envious.
That's right.
But that's the reason why as well, because they come from a system that show them pride.
Right. Yes.
A brother can have like a beautiful car and you'll be proud. A brother can have like his credit up, you know, nice credit,
Nice house.
being able to get any type of thing you want. And that'll bring the pride in him, man. Right? But in this truth, actually that lesson should that lesson, you know, is for this truth. It's like, how do you build up yourself in this truth? Because one of the first demon that will make it hard for you is pride. Because you come from a world, right? Family, you know, school system, lifestyle that is, you know, based on pride, being prideful. So when you come in this truth now, think about it.
Pride of life.
The Most High is a power that hides himself. The Bible says in Isaiah 45 and 15 that the Most High is a power that hides himself. Now, there's two reasons why he's hiding himself. The first reason, because he doesn't give the blessing to everyone. As he says in Deuteronomy 29 that, you know, you see praise for the, you know. But the second is the reason because he's a humble It's the humble energy. It's the humble energy, man. Look what he did to his son. The second in command came on earth and being humiliated like he's a bum.
And he watched it and it pleased him.
You know what I'm saying? Before he got to his glory, he had to know shame. Bring it up. You want to say something?
And also it says in Judges that the Most High test and prove you to see if you will serve him.
Yes.
And you go into Judges, it said that the Lord left the remnants of the Canaanites among our people to test and prove. So faith, if the Most High showed himself, there'll be no need for faith because he'll be there. You know what I mean?
That's a very valid point.
Test and prove you.
That's a very valid point. You know what I'm saying? So he hid himself because he's a humble God, man.
Just like wisdom is, it says that the hidden wisdom or the mystery that's been hidden from ages is now being revealed.
Yes.
You know, so
Yes,
it's hidden.
obviously he's revealing himself now more and more, but I wanted to touch on that angle of humility. Because if you think about it, you want to bring a precept, bring it up.
This is
You see, that's church, you know. That's church.
Proverbs 11 and 2. So that when pride cometh, then cometh shame.
Read that again.
This is Proverbs 11 and 2. It says, when pride cometh, then cometh shame.
When pride cometh, then cometh shame.
But with the lowly is wisdom.
But with the lowly is wisdom. Because the Most High give to lowly the wisdom. The reason why the Most High had to make you lowly, first of all you have to remember, humble you. Why? Why is that? The Most High don't share his glory. That's one thing you have to understand in this truth. The Most High do not share his glory. So the only way for you to get this knowledge and the depth that comes with the knowledge and the wisdom, the first test is to go through humility. You're going to be shamed, you're going to know humiliation, you're going to be brought low. He's gonna make you naked before he clothes you. in glory. Hey, and also, the babies, when they're running around, the young, the suckling, it's like when they're running around in the yard, they have clothes on. They don't have clothes on.
And they have no shame about it either.
That's right. So what did the Irish I say come like as babe, like these one. So really, if you're in the truth and you're someone that to whom shame does a lot, you're in a fucked up situation because you're gonna be
more. I remember what he said, the meek shall inherit the earth.
If you're gonna be in an awkward situation in this truth, you're gonna leave the truth at some point. But he will make sure that that's why a lot of brothers that have pride, they find themselves in this truth, they find themselves in a situation where it's not comfortable. The Most High pin them down in a corner and it's not comfortable. And the Most High saying, as long as you stay in your pride, I'm not taking you out. I'm leaving you between the hard and between the rock and the hard place.
You know, one of the things with pride as well, it's hard for you to even acknowledge that you're wrong.
That's one of the main things.
All the other sins, you can say, boy, yeah, I'm a thief, yeah, I'm a womanizer, but when the pride comes, you can't tell me nothing.
You know, King David said, I confessed my sins.
That's right.
You know, because pride. You know, that's when you come into this truth, it teaches about accountability, acknowledging that you're in the wrong.
You see why accountability? Because the Most High will use someone to always check you, man. Hey, that guy might be younger than you. That guy might be younger than you. Now you come from a house where you're the elder, and you before you became, a Hebrew Israelite, so to speak, you were respected by the one that came before you. I mean, after you. But then you come in the truth, you got the young guy that is elder in knowledge, and his thing is to check you, man. So we judges, we gonna check each other on things because men his brother will check each other like, and the person sometimes we don't see eye to eye. I know sometimes the brother is not happy with me because my mouth is reckless, man. Like my mouth, like me, if you're around me, look, I expect you to check me. Do you know why? I know myself so much that when someone check me, it's difficult for me to be offended because believe you me, I'll be the first one to offend you. But I will tell you about yourself. You know why? Because you're not gonna be around me and then you're gonna have an off spirit. You know why? Because spirit does contaminate. And someone is in the midst of sin, and he's in the blood, and then you see it, you don't tell him.
A little leaven if the whole lot.
The little leaven
Leaven if the whole lot.
I was going to say, that's why the father just came up and said it was a foresight. But the first thing that came out of that said, I lost.
Aye. So he could, and that's a good thing. You have to be able to acknowledge that pride will stop you. If you're prideful, oh, man's cool, man. You know it all.
That's
That's
humility.
not what you mean.
He threw it over there. He threw it over there.
It might be safe.
Whoa, that's right.
He threw it over there.
Yeah, that's lovely.
He threw it.
See?
Not the unclean thing.
That's it. Hear this now. Yeah, look.
He threw it over there.
Yes. Oh,
See, he threw it away. Look.
Demon bracelet.
yeah.
Now, you see,
Yeah, everybody have a
that's just gonna get. But you see what it is? The word that comes out of our mouth, yeah?
That way. This way? Yes. That's
The word that comes out of our mouth is healing, you know?
That's right.
When the Bible talks about healing, there's many levels to healing. You got the physical healing, but you got the healing of the mind, because a lot of our brothers have the plague of the mind. So when the word comes out, it healed, and the brother was healed.
That's right.
He was worried, and Anck, he took it out.
I didn't know. I didn't see that. This is Proverbs 29 and 23. It says, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit.
Honor shall, but what it is that the honor will come after.
That's right.
Right? That's why the Bible speaks of the patience of the saints.
That's right.
Because it takes time. Revelation. It takes time for the glory to come over you.
And it's going to take time for you to get out this spirit that you're in.
Yeah, but you gotta be willing.
It doesn't happen overnight.
But you gotta be willing,
It's
man.
gonna come out over. Yeah, that's
If
right.
you can't take rebuke,
That's right.
some brother can't take rebuke, man.
That's right.
Some brother can say, yo, I apologize, I know that I'm wrong and everything.
That's where the honor comes in, though. If you're a man of honor, you'll be able
If
to
you're a
do
man, because the most I will test you, man. Bring it out, my brother, bring it out. This is church.
James 1 and 4, it says, but let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire without wanting nothing.
That's right.
Patience, man. Patience is the brother of humility. Because when you're humble, you have the capacity of taking bullshit. And this brother said something that really is stuck in my mind till today. These truths about taking L.
Yep.
Look, look at the woman, look at how she's looking at us. That's how you know that, you know, the most I'm gonna have to lick down these. They don't like it, they don't like the truth. Look how she look at us, man. They don't like the truth.
It's an alpha male
There was a
energy.
stench in her nose.
These women will be the first one to be destroyed because they don't like this truth.
Because of the foolishness of preaching.
Humility as well, and that's the reason why the most are manifested it. They've got pride. The only way these women will come near us is when they walk like that. Some women will be walking like that coming to us because the most have broke them soul. They have no choice but to come to the man of the Lord. But as long as they have their nails done and their hair done, they ain't gonna respect us.
That's right, because one thing about the so-called independent woman, you can't tell them nothing.
You can't tell them nothing, man.
You
That's
can't
the
check
philosophy.
them.
That's
Yeah,
that line,
you can't check
There's a
them.
woman that said, there was a video, there's a video where a woman, she was talking to a man. So a man said, yo, what do you think about a man running the house? She's like, no, us women are more intelligent. Us women are more smarter. Us women grew up put on a new law. Just like give an example of like, and it's true. If you, like my daughter, she's 14, but she act like she's 18. The way she act, and I'm like, wow. My son is 18, but he's 18.
You know what that goes back to, bro? That video the brother played earlier on, like the women. How they put so much fear into the woman that she now brings up the man to be feminine.
Yes.
That's from the upbringing.
Yes. Yeah, bring who has the preset? Which one? Which one? All right,
Yeah, so this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 12, in the middle of verse 12. So I'll take it from the top. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God,
Yeah, and you're not able to humble down yourself. Yeah, good.
and his heart is turned away from his maker,
Oh, and his heart is standing away from them because pride will take you away. Because pride is a plague of the mind as well. Because what pride does, it makes you the king of yourself.
Yes.
It makes you king of yourself.
Worse if you're doing good.
Yeah, if you're prospering in
You know,
this.
oh yeah. It
Yeah.
makes you, because you got, what's his name, that guy? Jay-Z. Jay-Z called himself,
Is this how? Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
and Jehovah come from Jehovah.
Yeah.
Now when I asked him, the radio interview, you call yourself God, he said, yeah, but don't the Bible say that you're gods? You see how he flipped it? Yes, we are God, but we're not the gods.
But what about the big way it says, but ye shall die like men?
Yeah, no, he forgot that. And he will surely die like a man, like a dog even.
That's right.
But he, you see, that's what I'm saying, because pride will make you sit on the throne of yourself. So you know how Isaiah 14 say that. Yeah, they say that Isaiah 14 says, and I will ascend. Yeah, say that. This is where pride gets you, but the whole time you don't know that this spirit is very sneaky.
That's right.
That's why you have to be careful with the spirit. The spirit that jump on people. Yeah.
Isaiah 14 and 13.
Yeah.
Because thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend on into heaven.
Right.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of
I
the
will
Most High.
exalt my throne of what?
Above the stars of the Most High.
And
Yeah,
that's what
that's
pride
us.
does in your head. All right? That's what pride does in your head, man.
Here now. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation inside of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Is the pride there? I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. But in their head,
They are
in
the
their
Most
mind,
High.